The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 18th day of September, 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical Wells, and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Well, folks, I have some good news. Very good news. So if you check it, right, I don't use headphones anymore because I finally, I've had them since 2018, but I finally hooked up my studio monitors. So now I don't look like, whatever I look like with headphones on during the show. So I can listen to you and have a conversation with you with real audio from the monitors now. Ain't you excited for me? I mean, it should be, aren't you excited for me? Nana's probably throwing something at her screen right now with that English that I just dropped on you, but it's all good. But yeah, we made a little upgrade. Good morning to you, Marcia, Robin Patrice Bradshaw. She says, good morning, everyone. Beautiful people. Have a good one. And good morning to you, Tanya Cheeseman says, morning, Jamal. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. How was everyone's weekend? You all know I love Mondays, right? Oh, I love you. So seeing you on a Monday makes things great. But I think weekends definitely go too fast, right? Because even though you may love what you do, rest is also important. And when it comes to weekends, we don't even rest. We'll do, people say, oh, I'm going to rest this weekend. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to relax. Then you end up doing laundry. Then you end up going out and enjoying fun with friends and family. Then you go out and do some chores outside in the yard and whatever else. And you got to spend time with maybe your children and loved ones. That 4-day work week is sounding real good right about now for so many. I know. Manuela John's giving us some claps. We appreciate the claps, Manuela John. So look, today we've got a good one. Not sure what you did this weekend. I know the Seafood Festival was on in Bermuda. For those of you in Bermuda, hopefully you checked that out. I know last year they must have run out of food. So hopefully you all got your satisfaction this year. So greetings, everyone. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we discuss what kind of festivals and events can attract more visitors to Bermuda. One of the concerns that I've heard people say is we had the vegan festival or veggie fest, whatever it was, a couple of weeks ago. And now we've had the seafood festival for a second time. And I know people keep saying, oh, well, there's more locals in coming to these things than tourists. Tourism's about driving tourists. Let me be clear. Today, I'm not sticking up for the Bermuda Tourism Authority. What I'm going to try to do is kind of have a conversation where we can understand why what they're doing in this respect is necessary. Whether or not they should be the ones doing it, that's another story. But I'm going to tell you why I believe these festivals and events are necessary for the growth of Bermuda tourism. So the daily play is a who said it. So obviously I have no co-host today. So whoever gets the answer first will be eligible for a prize. And so, yeah, no hints. You all have been on a roll lately. Don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. So let's go. Again, question. Well, let's go to the audience. Tanya Cheeseman says, I think my body was crying for rest. I was sick throughout the storm and weekend, feeling better today. Well, we're happy to hear that you're feeling better. Tanya Cheeseman. Folks, remember, weekends, man. As much as we want them to be for rest, we probably do more during our weekends when we're supposed to rest than we kind of do at our jobs. Because let's be honest, most of you don't even like your jobs. You probably got to be about doing much there anyway. I'm just saying. You don't have to admit that in the comments. Your boss might be watching. Traveling Charlie says, thank you, TDH family, for the heartfelt birthday wishes. Regrettably, I couldn't be present due to the lack of internet service. I'm grateful for the love and kind thoughts, and we are grateful to you, Traveling Charlie. We appreciate you. Yes, I did notice you were out of commission on your birthday. How about that? How about that? But we are glad that you did get to go back and watch the show, which is why we love streaming. So you can go back and watch it any time of the day that you choose. So the question of the morning, again, we had seafood festival yesterday. We had a vegan festival a few weeks ago or last month. What kind of events, festivals and events do you believe can attract more visitors to Bermuda? Give it some thought. Just give it some deep thought. And I'll go through the Instagram responses that we got. But folks, just think deep. Think very deep on this, right? So what I'm going to say, and this is not in defense of the Bermuda Tourism Authority. It's just common knowledge of industry. These events, what you do with these events, and again, whether you believe the BTA should be doing it or someone else is neither here or there at this point, right? But what the Bermuda Tourism Authority is doing is creating something and experiences that locals can partake in. Let's use the fish fry in the Turks and Caicos Islands, right? The fish fry, when visitors hear about it, oh, they want to attend it. Well, that was something that was created, right, for the locals. And those local experiences then bring in non-locals who want to experience what the locals do. So that's the purpose of them. So when we think of like what kind of festivals and events do you believe can attract more visitors to Bermuda, think about what locals like to do. I'm going to give you something that I gave the Premier of Bermuda, which he kind of hijacked and took to the House of Assembly. No, he really did. Bermuda's the home of Bacardi with many brands. Bermuda is also home to Gosling's Black Seal rum, which is known for its rum swizzle. It only makes sense for Bermuda to have a rum festival, right? No, I'm saying that as someone who doesn't drink. But a rum festival. Why not have a rum festival? Close out Pitts Bay Road, outside Bacardi. Gosling's, Bacardi, team up. Have a rum festival. To me, that's a good idea. I think it's a wonderful idea. Seafood festival makes sense. Bermudians love seafood, in particular fried fish. A rum festival. That's thinking beyond. That's thinking differently from what we do. No? Now I know you all saying, but Jamal, drunk driving and what? Folks, a rum festival doesn't mean anyone has to get drunk. Think about what Danielle Painter responsibly says every time she's on the show. Danielle from Bacardi. We drink to taste. Rum festival, no one's getting a full drink. And we can do it responsibly. I'm giving ideas today. So, folks, and I'm open to you stealing or taking my ideas. This is not about me. People have to get a card to enter. They can only taste a little, not even a shot, a sample, smaller, probably a quarter of a shot, samples. They got a card where they have to get it coded every time they go swiped or whatever. And they only can taste up to 5 different rums. Something that simple can attract visitors. Believe it. What else do you think? What kind of festivals and events do you believe can attract more visitors to Bermuda? Ebony Susan said, my first question really is what caused other events to fall off? I used to enjoy the music and jazz festivals. These always seemed well attended by visitors and locals. I want us to stop being narrow, Ebony. And I'll get into that because quite a few people said music and jazz festivals. Respectfully, what does a rum festival cost you versus what a jazz festival and music festival costs? Think about a seafood festival. I'm going to give the BTA some credit. Think about a seafood festival. Think about a vegan festival. What does that cost you versus a music festival? The answer is right there for you in terms of what caused them to fall off. We can't afford to put those on. You have to pay bands. You have to pay Beyonce. You have to pay artists. Think different. I want us to think differently. I really want us to think differently. I'm going to throw another one at you. I said Rum Festival. How about Chowder Fest? Chowder. Now, that's an idea I stole from Newport, Rhode Island. They have a Chowder Fest up there where people come and you get to sample different chowders, clam chowder. I think Manhattan is red and New England's white or vice versa. We have fish chowder. Everyone thinks the fish chowder is the best. Some people put bacon in it. Some people put different stuff in it. That's an idea that doesn't cost what a music festival and jazz festival would. I like this idea, Sean DeShields. He says, copy Negril Jamaica and host a marijuana fest. And it's not even about copying, you know. It's really, you know what? We should try that. We have some of the same resources. But of course, Sean, we would have to have a government that is open, right, to those kind of changes. We'd have to have a government that's going to make the necessary changes so that we can do those kind of things, right? Karen Simmons says there is a Chowder Festival at BAMS this year. When is it, Karen? And I'm happy to hear that. You know why I'm happy to hear that, Auntie Karen? Because there's a Chowder Festival someone else is putting on that the Bermuda Tourism Authority can get behind and support. Violet Smith says Swizzle Fest, Kite Fest, Fish Cake Fest, barbecue. This is it. This is it. That's it. And guess what? You don't really have to pay anyone to be a part of these festivals. Swizzle Festival, I think, I want to say the BTA has done something like that or tried, but a Swizzle Festival. But I know, I want to say North Village has a Swizzle competition. I want to say, but anyone on the island could put these festivals on and just get people like the Bermuda Tourism Authority behind them. Kite Fest, easy. We have kite things on Good Friday. Make it huge, attract visitors, attract the big news people. Go for the Guinness Book of Records of the biggest kite in the world. Best looking kite, make it a thing. Fish Cake Fest. Bermudians, we are fish cake snobs. We think we have the best fish cakes ever. Everybody else usually does fritters. We do the cakes. We can do something unique. Let's do it. Traveling Trotty says yoga and wellness retreats. Ebony Souza says Swizzle Fest is a recent addition. Dockyard hosted one last year. I believe Switzerland has attempted it as well. Yeah, I want to say they had a Swizzle Fest last year. Thank you, Ebony. I remember something. Again, what question of the morning, folks? What kind of festivals and events do you believe can attract more visitors to Bermuda? I like this. International volleyball tournaments. I'm actually shocked we don't do more on our beaches. There's a lot more we can do on our beaches. I want to say someone was trying to do something international with international sport on the beaches, but it never worked out. Yes, there was a Swizzle Fest last year, says Shawnette Bell. So Renee Simmons says, so a rum festival includes Swizzle. I've seen a variety of Swizzle mixologists lately. I would think a BQ Fest. I like what she did. See what she did? BQ Festival, as there is barbecue cookouts out there, and it can be a competition. Yeah, I know. There used to be something on the Kinley Field, like a barbecue cook-off or something like that, not long ago. I can't remember. Correct me, audience, if I'm wrong. There was a barbecue something on there. Elephant 999 says, think Bermuda is a perfect place to offer people a place to do spiritual rehabilitation, meditation, nature connection, relaxation, and place that teaches how to find balance. Says it will be known for the place for people around the world to gain balance, as many people will and are suffering from pressure in the world. So there's a lot of people struggling in Bermuda, Elephant 999. In order to be seen as something, you have to be something. So that's why, if you remember what I said earlier, around these events, a lot of people's concerns about the seafood fast and the vegan fast is, well, we're the visitors. What this is all locals going to it, right? Well, you have to build for locals first, right? And then once it becomes this thing where locals are part of it, right? Then that's when visitors start to say, I want to do what the locals do. A lot of people who travel, like travelers, not people that are just take trips, but travelers, they love to do what locals do. So you make it a local experience. My question to you is, do locals see Bermuda as a place for spiritual rehabilitation, meditation, right? A place to connect with nature, relaxation, a place that teaches how to find balance. Do Bermudians see it that way? And if we're to create this vibe where visitors come for that, then we have to ensure that locals see it as that. So I don't disagree with you at all. But when we think about festivals and events, they have to be things that locals are going to embrace. That's just how you get more buy-in. Folks, this is a great conversation so far. Again, question of the morning is, what kind of festivals and events do you believe can attract more visitors to Bermuda? Angeline Butler says, yes, a barbecue contest on Sunday before Labor Day, a brainchild of the late Selena Minus. Yes, yes, she is the person I remember down Kinley Field used to put it on. Used to be awesome. So again, festivals and events, folks. This is a well. Let's go to Instagram. Actually, I'll go to Instagram after the news break. I'll go to Instagram because we got a lot of responses on Instagram. So we'll go to Instagram after the news break. But keep your responses coming. And my hope is that people who love to put on events and festivals will use this and say, you know what, that's not a bad idea. Let's take this on. Let's create something. Let's build something out. Right. I don't necessarily think any idea is a bad idea. Some ideas might not be feasible, economically possible, but I don't think any idea is necessarily going to be a bad thing. So I think we should throw out as many things as possible to try to figure out, you know what? This is not bad. Let's try this. Let's try that. So keep the answers coming. Keep your responses coming. What kind of festivals and events do you believe can attract more visitors to Bermuda? What are you thinking? I know, is it Germany? They have Beer Fest around this time. Is it called Beer Fest or something like that? They have that. I know different places. Somewhere in Jamaica, they may have a jerk fest, like jerk festival or jerk event. Let's use. I live in South Florida. We have the South Florida Fair. We have Garlic Fest. Garlic Fest is pretty cool. I love going to Garlic Fest. Everything's garlic flavored. And it's actually pretty, I mean, all I'm going to say, hey, take your breath mints, your spearmint gum, whatever, because you're going to be walking around with garlic breath. And even though everybody's got garlic on their breath, you don't want to be the one who's got that, additional garlic scent on your breath. But Garlic Fest is pretty cool. Just keep in mind, take your breath mints. Yes, Oktoberfest. Thank you, Ebony Souza and Aunt Karen. Oktoberfest is in Germany. Which is real cool because isn't that when the men wear like kilts and stuff in Germany? Violet Smith says these festivals need to be an annual thing so that we're able to promote them locally and internationally. That's the point. That's the point, Violet Smith. That is the absolute point. They cannot be one-offs, as she put it. And that's why I'm glad Seafood Festival came back around. It has to be annual. They have to be annual. But I want us to keep in mind, I remember when I was working in Bermuda tourism, getting asked, so what do you like to do for fun in Bermuda? I'm like, hang out with my boys, go to the bar, coach my children. That was what was fun to me, right? Keep them coming. We've got Renee Simmons says, an international fashion week would be nice. Designers from all over the Caribbean and worldwide introducing their fashion collections. Stop. I like this. I like it in this respect. Art. Nobody said art festival. And I don't think fashion necessarily, but I think art. That includes fashion. An art festival where we showcase Bermudian art, and it's this big week-long thing. No, they could do it already. I'm not familiar. But a week-long thing where this is one of the best times to visit Bermuda to understand the art. Now, we have the film festivals and stuff like that, but something so big that we recognize all forms of art and artists and we show our best off to the world. Um, Monica Dunstan says we have Oktoberfest every year up in Dockyard. Oh, well, that's nice. That's really cool, and I'm glad. Maybe the BTA should, promote it so more people know about it and you know attend and so on. But that's cool. But Oktoberfest is that's a German thing, though. We need things that are gonna be. I mean, here everywhere I've lived, actually, they've done some form of Oktoberfest, right? With pumpkin beer or orange flavor beer and stuff like that. Um, but it's not Germany. It's not a festival, like a month-long festival. You know what I'm saying? In Munich. I'm thinking when I think festivals, I'm thinking things that lead up to the events. Like for me, seafood festival should be a weekend thing at least, right? A week. When I say a weekend thing, um, we should be have artists performing Friday night into this. Day one could focus on um shellfish. Second day, the best fried fish. Like I just think it should be an experience. Maybe that's something that's going to happen in the future. Swizzle have Oktoberfest every year. Yeah, different restaurants have things. Different cities have things. I'm talking about something that we own. Something we own. Oktoberfest is a German thing. Um, I want us to have a rum festival. I want us to have a I forget what I said earlier. Chowder festival. And someone says they're having a chowder festival, Bermuda Aquarium Museum and Zoo, which I love. I love, love, love. Let's bring Maya in. I wonder what kind of festival she'd be interested in. And don't forget, we're gonna go to our Instagram because we got quite a few responses on Instagram as well as far as what festivals and events we should think of. So let's bring Maya in for the Daily Hour news break and see what festivals she thinks we should consider.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, MP. How you doing?
Good. Pretty good.
Okay. You like any of my ideas?
All right.
It's like hate you know. I mean, so what I said rum festival. I see responsible rum festival because I said like they have to get a card when they go in and they have to get it like scanned as they go so that we can ensure that they're doing it for taste, not getting drunk. See what I did there, folks. And then what was the other one I said? Chowder festival, right? I think those would be my two. Do you have any that you would go for?
An Afro festival.
And I knew she is going to up me. I knew she is going to three up me. I knew she was going to me.
That's something I've been talking about wanting to do with my sisters for like such a long time. I feel like it was like a dream of ours when we were like much younger. It's just like, oh my god, it'd be so cool. And we started seeing it, and they like have in other places around the world now, right? And it's just like it's all about like black hair, black skincare, black health, and black like wealth. But like you get to be just so like big and bold and loud about your expression as a black person, and it's just like I want that. I want that in Bermuda. Like, and then everyone who does anything that has to do with like skincare, hair care, whatever, obviously will be vendors there as well. And like that, we have so many beauty lines and so many like beauty products on this island, like to have it all in one space. And then like, I just want that.
I love it. I absolutely love that. Afrofest. And yeah, she three up me, folks. Keep your answers coming though, folks. Let us know what kind of festivals and events do you believe can attract more visitors to Bermuda. I want to go back to because I wanted to get your thoughts on this one. Traveling Trotty said earlier, yoga and wellness retreats, and I know like you're kind of I think that's something that you would have something to say about. What are your thoughts on something like that?
No, I love what you said about it though, Jamal. Like the response is saying that if we don't really already have that here on the island as like people don't know Bermuda for like being sound mind, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but like obviously I don't know where you would possibly go. Obviously I just wish I could go find like what communities actually do it most often, the benefits, like how to strengthen the community, statistics on that to show like, oh, these guys are really about it. In Bermuda, we're not really about that, I don't think. I know there's a lot of people that do it and who focus a lot of their life on it, but as a community, yoga and wellness. I wish we were more, in tune with that. I think we're getting there, but like we're not the behold knowing people for it. So that would have to take some steps. But I'm not against it because I think we're really beautiful. It's a beautiful island. We have that serenity, we have that peace. But to the people, that, like you said, yeah.
And folks, if you're just tuning in, what Maya's referring to, I just said, like, we have to be seen as something for people to buy in. We can't just create something that's not authentic to us. You don't want to offer something, then are we really? And I think it was Elephant 999 who was suggesting, that we be a place to do spiritual rehabilitation, meditation, connect with nature. And are we really that place where we do that, like where locals do that? Is it a stress-free place for locals? Locals flocking out to the Vegan Fest and Seafood Festival, they love that. So we have to build on things that they like and things that they love. And don't forget, after Maya's done with the news break, we'll go to our Instagram responses and speak more to it. But I love this conversation. I love the feedback. And my hope is that more independent entrepreneurs will take some of these ideas, run with them, and then guess what? Go to the BTAs and various people in the community to seek sponsorship, to put these events on. But I love it. Maya, it's news break time, ain't it?
It is news break time. Well, good morning, everyone. This Daily Hour news break brought to you by the amazing people at People's Pharmacy. Starting out the news this morning, things that you don't really want to hear, but police respond to a report of a gunshot. So this was shortly after 11 p.m. on Saturday, September 16th, where police officers were dispatched to the area of Court and Elliott Streets, Pembroke, following a report of a gunshot heard in that vicinity. Officers conducted a search and recovered one spent shell. There were also no reports of anyone being injured. And subsequently, when they actually did checks at the hospital, no one had visited the facility for seeking any treatments to do with a gunshot wound either. So an investigation into this incident has now commenced, and police are saying that there were several people at nearby establishments at the time of the incident, and anyone with any information on this matter is urged to call the main police number at 295-0011. As well, you could call Crime Stoppers 800-8477 or talk to a police officer that you know and are comfortable with sharing any information with.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. I don't believe it. Well, we have to stay.
Well, it's a lot to it because I remember last week I did report that there was a gunshot. So I don't want to lean into saying that there's going to be more of it, but like just being cautious as an island that this is something that happened last week, Wednesday, September 13th, that there were reports of gunshots on Ord Road and Paget. And now, another.
Was someone struck last week, man?
Pardon?
Was someone struck by gunfire, or was just shooting last
week? Let me go back to the report because I have to remember.
But you're right. And
yes, yeah, a 30-year-old male had sustained gunshot wounds and was transported to the hospital via a private vehicle. That happened on September 13th.
Right. And in these times, it seems like the temperature is rising. The shootings that close together, but stay vigilant. And the best we can say is, come on, if you know something, you've got to say something to protect yourself and the community.
Yeah, completely agree. As well, there was on Friday a serious single vehicle road collision. There's not too many information on it just yet. Just the fact that there was a motorcycle on Parsons Road near the junction of Glebe Road in Pembroke, and that the person who was a male was transported to the hospital. And they're saying that the injuries are considered life-threatening. No further update on that as of this morning yet.
I hope that person's well.
Yes, definitely. And as we already talked about it this morning, but yeah, we did have the Bermuda Seafood Festival. My family went out, had an amazing time there, and it was quite busy. And they had dancers this year, definitely different from last year. And they also had like motor carts going through, which was really cool for the children that were there. So that's something that was different, but pretty fun. So they're expanding it off from last year.
They didn't invite me.
What, my family or the festival?
Festival.
Because you would have
did a little hop and bounce,
Oh, for the dancing. Oh, I thought you meant going inside the go-kart. So I was going to make a sherry joke, but I held it together.
You can't reach for it. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Let me take note. Write that down.
Well, in my next news report, you may have heard about this. It was actually a really good story and a really awesome achievement, I believe, for Carry Genetics as they celebrate their first 1 year anniversary. If you remember, Carry Genetics also launched the first human research study, the study of which Caribbean breast, the Caribbean breast cancer whole genome research pilot study, which they just started probably maybe 2 months ago now that they had this. So I asked the CEO and founder, Dr. Kariko Weldon, just like what has been her greatest achievements this year with her team when it comes to Carry Genetics. So here's a video, some audio of what she had to say to me.
Favorite achievement of the company in this first year is that we have been able to hire 7 Bermudians full time. And that for me is huge because we're not just bringing innovation and science and research to the island, but we're employing our own. And that is, for me, like the hugest accomplishment. Success for Carry Genetics to me looks like putting Caribbean genetics on the global research map. And beyond that, having empowered those who were involved in those research studies to not only know what was going on, but also to own their genetic data fully. That is success for me, and we are on our path to achieve that one day at a time. The impact I hope that Carry Genetics has on young Bermudians interested in science is that I want them to not only know that science is a great choice and they may not have seen a job in it when they studied it, but there is opportunity. But I also want to push the envelope with innovation and entrepreneurship because as a scientist, I was never really exposed to the idea of becoming a business owner. It's not the natural path. And I want to make sure that we foster science innovation in the region. And I challenge all those who are in science to think of their unique way that they can actually employ other Bermudians and those from the Caribbean, because that is what's going to really sustain us going forward.
You know what stood out to me? What Dr. Weldon just said.
What?
As a scientist, studying science, she never saw herself as a business owner. Because we go to school to study science, we go to school to study journalism, media. Maya, did you see yourself as a journalist or as a business owner?
Journalist, I never,
And what
ever thought this would be my path.
first met? Like, nah, we're gonna make some money. We're gonna be entrepreneurs. I legit said that to her, and I say it to her all the time. Like, we're and this is no disrespect to anyone, but the pipeline, the school pipeline to the workforce is you go to school, you get trained to work for other people. Everybody that works with me, we working together and we're going to make it together. So I found that very interesting what Dr. Weldon said, and I agree with that. And congratulations on 1 year. All the best to it going forward.
Yeah, big milestones. And again, if you want to, be a part of that research study that I mentioned before, you can still contact them by going to carrygenetics.com to be part of the study and help out with it. So in other news, we know that this is coming up quite fast, like it's going to be here before we know it, but the by-election is coming through. And just a reminder of what we know so far when it comes to the approaching of the constituency 8 Smith South by-election. We know that Misha Faldo has been announced to the PLP as the running MP for that constituency, as well as Senator Ben Smith is now up there for the One Bermuda Alliance as well. And the reason for this by-election came after the former leader, Cole Simons of the OBA, stepped down from his duties after 25 years of service. So that's the update that we know right now. We know that they're also canvassing right now and going around into those parishes. Just keep a heads up as the time progresses and gets near, that this is something to look out for and, see what the people of Bermuda decide.
Yeah, I stand by the question we asked last week or week before last is, what can we learn from the pending results of this upcoming election? If the PLP closed the gap, what does it mean for the OBA? If the OBA expand on their numbers, what does it mean for them and the PLP? And if the PLP somehow managed to win this, what does it mean for Bermuda? It's a lot of questions that this by-election can answer.
Agreed. Now, closing up with your sports, just a reminder again that this coming Friday, September 22nd, is when our women's senior team will be playing at Bermuda at the Florida Dame Field Stadium. And remember, this is for the first ever Women's Gold Cup, like CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup, which is super exciting for our country and for our players to be in there. Now, I know there was some, unfortunateness as Leilani Nesbitt won't be able to play because of a hip injury, but we do have some really star players on our team, some outperformers, as this team was a part of. Many players were a part of that team that were undefeated in the NatWest Island Games, including the goalkeeper who didn't concede a single goal in the entire tournament, Zakari Turner. So she's on the squad. She's going to be there. So big ups to our ladies, and I hope they do extremely well.
Yes, good stuff, folks. Give the ladies some love in the comments. Give them a thumbs up. Let them know that you'll be behind them, supporting them, and out there at the stadium to get behind them.
Yeah, man, get those tickets, support them, support them. Hopefully they bring home some wins. We have a really, really good squad when it comes to our women's football team. We've Coach Nikita Robinson, as well as others, really expanded that program to even be able to have so many options as they do to select the players. So we've got a really good group that's really been fighting for this selection and their spot to be on this team. So all the best to them.
Indeed.
Yeah. And today, what we're looking at for the weather, some early clouds and a couple of showers, but sunnier by midday, we hope. And we've got a high of 83 degrees.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for that, Maya. Are you ready for the days of the year, Maya?
Am I going to like this one?
I don't know. First, bear with me as I give you the day of the year, because I don't want anyone on this show starting any trouble after I say this to you. All right? All right. So today is day of the year. It's First Love Day, Maya. First Love Day is a day to reflect on our first love. For some people, this will feel like a distant memory. Perhaps it was your high school sweetheart. For others, you could still be with your first love today. I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but who actually is really with their first love today? I'm pretty sure that percentage would be probably very low based on the audience members of this show. But anyway, how should you celebrate First Love Day, Maya? Well, remember the life you shared together. That brief, but that may not be a good thing. But anyway, okay. That brief but bright spark of a moment and how it utterly changed you both. If you're still in touch, drop them a line, or,
don't do that.
Old photos and journals to remember what that moment felt like. Folks, again, if they're married and you don't drop no line. I actually forget everything I just said. Everything I just said. It's First Love Day. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
But I'm
curious. Do with that as you will.
Yeah, I'm curious to know. Anybody still with their first love? I want to be nosy. Anybody still I want to be nosy, Maya. Ain't none of my business. You ain't gotta tell me. It's First Love Day, so do with that info what you will. Most people probably deleted the photos and everything, but if you want to go through your phone, make yourself cry or angry.
Stop giving advice, please, Jamal, on this topic.
You know what, Maya? Have a good day. We're going to get back to the fun. We're going to get back to what events and festivals. Maya, have a wonderful day. Folks, do not go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We'll go to Instagram and get this. Do not take anything I said seriously. Please don't. Please don't.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose Peoples, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it Peoples, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. Peoples, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level.
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, please don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, let's get back to the question. The question of the morning was, what kind of festivals, events do you believe we can attract more visitors to Bermuda? So on Instagram, someone said, and what's your thoughts on this? Someone said fairs, roller coasters, food festivals, car and bike festivals. We have fairs, roller coasters. I remember when I was young, and people used to always say that the Pembroke dump should be turned into an amusement park. And the people who opposed the idea said, okay, so then when Bermudians get tired of that, they'll just go to waste and nothing will happen with it. I'm very iffy about that, but I do like car and bike festivals, which we have. I think that bike company has a little something like we have Ride Around Bermuda. So we do have those kind of events. Maybe we can promote and push them a bit more. So I like that. Another person says Bermuda needs a modernized event center first before we can even talk about the types of events. That's a lie. I'm going to heavily, respectfully disagree with you. I used to say for Bermuda to attract conferences and events, we need a convention center. We don't. Well, no, we probably do now that the big hotels close. But folks, sometimes it's about doing what you can with what you have. And I think we have to be resourceful. We can be resourceful. We don't need any of this stuff. We can have a seafood festival without an event center. We can have a chowder festival, a beer festival, a rum festival. We have to actually do something that our parents and our ancestors told us to do, which we simply as a collective don't do. And that's live within our means. So this response right here, I respectfully disagree, where you're saying Bermuda needs a modernized event center first before we can even talk about the type of events. That's not true. I absolutely disagree, respectfully. Someone said an event on the level of Coachella. I don't know what Coachella is. I just know that Beyonce sang at it or something. So help me out. Someone said, so what kind of events, festivals / events can attract more visitors to Bermuda? Someone said small sample food at lower prices for food festivals. I have a problem when people say at lower prices. There's a cost for doing business, folks. There's a cost for doing business. And I understand that many of us are on budgets and, some things are beyond what we can afford. Well, you just don't go. And I know that sounds mean, but some of these businesses are not just about breaking even to put these things on and create these experiences. I know we've done it. It's hard. So I don't know what lower prices means, but businesses are not charities. For people to give these experiences, they have to underwrite things. Someone says music, old school. We discussed music festivals earlier. We discussed them. We need to think of ideas that are affordable and make sense, that we can build community amongst Bermudians that visitors will come and buy into. Music festivals like they did before. Someone asked earlier, why did we stop doing them? Well, when you have to pay Beyonce and Alicia Keys and all these people what they cost, it ain't going to leave much for a return. Return of music festival, another person says. Again, is it feasible? A rum festival, feasible. You have Bacardi headquartered in Bermuda, home of Goslings. Again, Jamal doesn't promote drunkenness, so I have an idea for a responsible rum festival. I really want a chowder fest though, because I like a little fish chowder. Everyone thinks the chowder is the best. Uh, Tell me something. Where you all had the best chowder in Bermuda? Someone says golf tournaments for vacation groups. Bermuda is golf course heaven. We have 7 golf courses. I mean, I live in South Florida. They think they're golf course heaven down here in Florida, as well as tennis and everything else. But yeah, we have to be resourceful, use what we have. Let's go back to the comments again. What kind of festivals/events do you believe can attract more visitors to Bermuda? Tanya Cheeseman says, I remember Hawkins Island being a real experience for locals and tourists alike. Yup, I used to have a blast out there with tourists, have the live entertainment, bands, and food. Angeline Butler says there was a natural hair care fair, but of course that was on a smaller scale. Nicole Famous used to have it. Love that. That goes along the line with what Maya said. Sean DeShield says international technology festival similar to Las Vegas. I love that. I love it. Involve as many techies from Bermuda. And I know like the business community does different stuff as well, but I love that idea. And that's, again, thinking beyond what's normal. Monica Dunstan says, I'm attending a wellness retreat at Cambridge in November. I hear about them from time to time, finally getting around to going. So this is awesome. Hopefully it's something that can attract some visitors to Bermuda. Thank you for that. Here we go. Let's see. We've got Larry Marshall Jr. says, an esports competition. It's a growing industry. Someone had suggested this some years ago, actually, bring an esports competition to Bermuda. I think it'd be awesome if we can have something, an esports event, maybe in a venue that would really make it popular and different. A big screen, like they do movies in the park, like probably something on the beach. Esports playing on the beach where the PlayStation or whatever is on the beach and a big screen, and obviously with all the wires and stuff, it's under a tent. But no, I like that idea. I was joking about not knowing what Coachella is, but Aaron Smith says Coachella is a music and art festival that takes place in California. An event on that size is music festival. Like we really got to take into account what that would cost. So keep that in mind. Keep the overhead in mind. Teray Toll says wellness retreats, as Traveling Charlie said earlier, wellness retreats are something we can consider. But again, folks, think about what I said earlier. Bermudians have to be seen as it has to local. So when people are travelers, when people are going to places, they want to do what the locals are doing. Our locals seeing Bermuda as a place of wellness, right? You have to consider that, right? You can't just say things because they sound great. But like, again, I use the Turks and Caicos example. The fish fry, that wasn't created for tourists. That's a local thing that became a thing for tourists because they wanted to do what the locals done. That's why I'm behind the seafood festival and even this vegan festival. It's like, if locals are enjoying this, now it becomes a tourism thing because people say, oh, I want to go to Bermuda in September. That's when they have the seafood festival. I want to go to Bermuda in January. That's when they have the rum festival. I want to go to Bermuda in January because that's when they have the international race weekend. We have to build things like that, things that Bermudians are known for, right? Shika Rana says something like an amazing race event end to end with Bermuda history, culture, clues, and milestones. I love that. I remember when I was working in Bermuda tourism, I actually was pushing something like that. I think it would have been great back then. Has it past time? I don't know, but I think that's a great idea, Shika, and I think that's absolutely awesome. Karen Simmons says, Gombe and similar groups, festival, Caribbean and African groups. I like this. So to Maya's idea about an Afrofest, we know there's different forms of what we call the Gombe throughout the Caribbean, going right back to West Africa. I think that we can have some African dance festivals where we include different Gombes. When Shawande from H&H comes on, him and Zane Hendrickson, they spoke about each Gombe group having their things that, different tribe, right? Inviting others from the different islands to bring their version of their dance, maybe the Junkanus and so on. And then even some from Africa. I think something like that would be amazing, Karen Simmons, something we should consider. Pickleball competition. I did see Newstead Belmont Hills talking about turning the range or something into a pickleball courts. Pickleball is very popular, folks. If you don't know what pickleball is, it's the fastest growing sport, I believe, in North America. Awesome. I like that idea, Shikarena. Like a pickleball festival in Bermuda could make a lot of sense. James Burgess says parties on the islands were the bomb back in the day. Yeah, there were a lot. I mean, someone said Hawkins Island earlier. Renee Simmons says a boat festival with the longest raft up to end the event from Dockyard to St. George's if we can get that many boats here. I like that idea. I don't know if people trust others to raft up and like hook their boats up next to others, but Bermuda's relatively small enough to kind of do that. That'd be pretty cool. I like that. I like that actually, Renee. What are your thoughts, folks? Any other ideas? What kind of festivals / events do you believe can add value and attract visitors to Bermuda? What other ideas do you have? What are you thinking? What do you think we can do? I'm gonna stick. I like Maya's idea of an Afro festival. I love what I was saying about Chowder Fest, Rum Festival. I think that we can. I think there's a lot of things we can do to attract people that don't cost us a lot of money. Teray Toll says, I think it can be a part of our cultural revolution to change drinking habits and foster community. Maybe. I think we have to start at it now as far as wellness. I would prefer wellness, but then it has to be something we're all dedicated to more than just sounding great. Again, I think the seafood festival is easy because Bermudians tend to like seafood. What you're thinking is we have to culturally change something and make ourselves believers and trust in it. I'm not quite sure that's going to happen in a generation, but I think it's a great start. Like Monica Dunstan said, she's attending a retreat at Cambridge, and it happens already. It's just a matter of whether it will attract people enough to be a big thing. I would love to see a wellness retreat where every last person on Horseshoe Bay Beach is doing yoga. We're talking 200-300 people on there doing yoga, right? On a November morning, cool, 7 a.m. and so on. I love that. But we have to make ourselves believers of it as a culture to truly make it happen. Folks, we're going to take a break real quickly. Don't forget, someone's going to win something if you get this answer right when we come back. But keep your responses coming about what kind of events you believe we can, what kind of festivals and events you believe can attract more visitors to Bermuda. Stick with us, going to take our final break and come back after these messages.
Are you ready to reel in incredible savings? Get set, because right now at ER Fisheries and Foods, we're making a splash with 10% off store-wide back-to-school sale. Dive into delicious savings today. It's a feast for your wallet. Swing by ER Fisheries and Foods in person or surf our online store to savor these unbeatable deals. But hurry now, the 10% off store-wide sale won't last long. ER Fisheries, your destination for the finest fish, seafood, meats, and more.
All right. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House, Linda's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring we can have these conversations on a daily basis. Folks, if you've appreciated today's discussion, responses, conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share these conversations with your friends, your family, your colleagues. I think we got somewhere this morning. I think we had some great ideas this morning about the different things that we can possibly do to attract more visitors to Bermuda. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Audience, it's time. It's a Who Said It. This was a very popular quote within the last 20 years. The first person to answer correctly will get themselves a prize. Quote, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. End quote. Who's the author of that quote? All right. Aaron Smith, you are the winner. It was Barack Obama, one of the most famous quotes he made. Was that not when he was in the Senate, or was that one of his ones when he was running for president? But I just remember it was one his famous quote. But wow, you all got it. Jack, you all got Barack down. But yeah, Aaron Smith, send us an email, engage@thedailyhour.com, folks. I know some people haven't received the link yet. Sent one last week. You'll be getting it soon. So Aaron Smith, again, send us an email within the next 24 hours for the link to collect your stuff. We got some more. Michael Daniels says, what about bringing in people who will speak on topics relevant to Bermuda and a significant amount of people in the world? Is that a festival or event that's going to attract people to Bermuda? Ask yourself that question there, Michael Daniels. Charles H. Jefferson II says a Black Greek letter organization's festival retreat, something that could rival Martha's Vineyard. I like the way you think. They have Black Cultural Weekend in Martha's Vineyard. I've been there around that time. It's crazy. Something to consider. But I think Bermuda's a bit scared of Black organizations. I'm being serious. I'm joking, but I'm not. But let's wrap it up. I think this has been a great conversation. I think there's been a lot of ideas. I think this show exists to kind of discuss these kind of things and come up with solutions for things that are impacting our community. We know Bermuda has had challenges with its tourism product. We've had challenges with attracting people to Bermuda. I do believe some of these events and festivals are taking us in the right direction, but we need more. We need more. They need to be embraced by the locals. They need to be supported by locals. And I believe tourists will come. How many tourists? That remains to be seen, because guess what tourists need to come? They need hotel beds to stay in. Truthfully, we just don't have that many. And I know some of you say, well, there's big cruises. Well, if Bermudians are complaining at the prices at festivals, what do you think a cruise visitor will do? We have to be very, very conscious of who we're aiming for and who we're targeting. All right, folks. The Fisheries and Foods Daily Inspiration. Honestly, I'm just going to leave you with what Barack Obama said, former president of the United States. Quote, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. End quote. Former president of these United States of America, Barack Obama. Folks, it's time to say goodbye. Do not forget to subscribe to our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve the community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical Windows, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamal Hartman. Again, please give us a like, share with your friends, some love, and make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.